Hey everybody, this is ArchArchon, and in this video we are going to talk about how to properly PvP in 2020. That's why this video is going to have two parts. The first part is going to be mostly about theory, exactly what I consider the basics, and I'm going to cover them really quickly with you guys. Yeah, I know, going to be a little bit boring because it's going to be a lot of explanations, but overall those are the basics and are really important. And the second part is going to be some PvP matches where I actually showcase exactly what I'm talking about. I hope you will enjoy it. If we are talking about PvP, then of course we are talking about teams. Because Dragon Ball Legends has been around for quite some time, the roster is extremely big, and currently you can play a series of tags, quite a big number of tags, and you can have pretty awesome teams. What you need to keep in mind is that any team you use, if you want it to be successful, it has to have a pretty big ability bonus. Ability bonus is obtained by team synergy. That means that if you are playing a Saiyan team, it would be very useful for you, for the main fighters and for the bench members, every one of them to boost that Saiyan tag. That goes for every tag, for Lineage of Evil, for androids, for regeneration, whatever you can think of, use the same tag. Of course, if you have one character that is only receiving buffs, but is not actually boosting that tag, but for some reason it really works for your team, then go for that one. But you should only use one of these characters. All of the others should have the same tag, should boost and receive the boost from the same tag. Very important. If you have a team that is under 2000 ability, then most probably you are missing something and you will either not have defense or attack. Don't get me wrong, you will have success, but not the success that you're hoping for. Right now, there are exceptions, of course. For every rule, there is an exception. If you're using androids, then any android team is going to have a really big ability bonus, and yet you will not have results. So that's why, for androids, this rule doesn't apply, just forget about them. If you're using a legendary finisher, or if you're using one of the current nukers, when I say nuker, I mean a character that is able to do pretty impressive amounts of damage with one combo, then of course that team will also work, but usually those characters are pretty squishy, especially if you only have 2 or 3 stars on them. If they get hit, they will probably die pretty fast, so you really have to be careful. That's why if you have a big ability bonus, then you will be able to keep those guys safe. You will just use your switching, and that's it. Another very important part: stop looking at the character stats. I have so many discussions on Facebook and Twitter, extremely boring discussions about, look at this character stats, oh my god, so awesome. That is absolute crap. It's irrelevant, simple as that, irrelevant. When you have a 2-star characters, not gonna be impressive. But somehow some characters are doing tons of damage at 2 stars, even 3 stars. Why is that? Very simple, because of their unique abilities. You are going to have to triple check the unique abilities of each character that you are going to use and be sure that you understand how they work. That is the game mechanics. If you see right there the photo with Zenkai Cooler, why is Zenkai Cooler so impressive? Simple. Every time Zenkai Cooler is being switched out, any Lineage of Evil character that comes in after him is going to receive amazing buffs. They are going to receive damage, crit damage, and everything you want, and they are simply going to be stronger. If you're using full power Frieza, for example, which is a great tank, he has no damage, but with the buffs he receives from Cooler, automatically he can do stuff. And oh my god, he can do stuff. So that's why, stop focusing on stats. I don't care what people say, stop focusing on stats and look at unique abilities. If those unique abilities point out for ways that your characters can receive buffs and upgrades, then that's the thing that's the most important. you will see the PvP demonstration exactly what I'm talking about. Since I have talked about Frieza and Cooler, then another thing that I have to mention is the cover switching. Now, at the moment, I really like characters that have something special when they are switched in. There are characters that have really increased defenses until the combo is done. There are others that will break the combo. I call those guys, of course, combo breakers. And that's why my current team, which I usually use in PvP, is the sagas from the movies. I use their Broly, Bojack, and Gohan. And the synergy there is very impressive. Gohan is a tank and he can take damage. Bojack is a combo breaker. Very, very important. So that's why whenever my opponent I know he has 4 cards, he's launching an attack at me. If Bojack is available, I just switch in him and I break the combo. And I really have to point out that this is very important because when you break a combo, you actually reduce the damage that you are taking. Your opponent will still have cards, will still have ki, but maybe he won't have his Vanishing Gouge, and that is going to open the door for you to launch an attack. This has been the basics for how to properly make a PvP team. Now let's talk a little bit about the game mechanics, the fighting mechanics, and that's why. In a PvP match, you have to remember that there are a few things you need to always consider. You have the Ki Blast cancellation, you have the charge step, you have the stuck in animation, and of course you have baiting. If we are starting with the first one, and that's the Ki Blast cancellation, I think this is one of the oldest tricks in the book. Basically, if you are back on the screen at a really long range, if you're using a blast attack and if you're swiping forward, you will see that you are going to break the Ki Blast and you are going to be able to make another move, whatever you choose. Either try to evade an attack or to use punches. This is very effective, especially in matches where the action is really happening fast and your opponent is trying to overpower you, or I don't know, he's trying to confuse you somehow. That's why Ki Blast cancellation could be a very good idea if you want your opponent to use his Vanishing Gouge and for you to have the advantage. You'll see in the PvP showcase exactly how I'm using this. The second one is the charge step. Now this is another easy thing to do, and this is helping you to actually get additional ki. When you start a combo, if you are using strikes or blast, remember you have to be at low range or medium range. Never do this if you are back in the screen in the long range. And what happens? After you do the strike or blast, you simply swipe forward and swipe sideways, doesn't matter which way, and after that go for another card. It should be again strike or blast. If you want to use a blue card, don't do this. If you are using the time for the charge step, then most probably you are going to miss with the blue card. There are some characters that are really fast and might get the hit, but overall don't do it. If you want to use a blue card, go for the blue card. If you want to use the charge step, then just go for strikes and blast from a close or medium range. Very important. The next two ones, the stacking animation and bait, are pretty much going head to head. The stacking animation means that once your opponent has started to do something, then he's going to be stuck in animation exactly as the word says until whatever move he's doing, it's done. That's why that opens the door for you to actually launch an attack. Please remember, this is where the Ki Blast cancellation comes to mind. Your opponent could be back in the screen, he could start a Ki Blast, and because he's using the Ki Blast cancellation, he will not be stuck in animation. And that's why you are going to attack him and he's going to be able to dodge you. So you really have to feel, that's the word, exactly how you are going to use this. If you saw in PvP, whenever your opponent is starting a move, you have that exclamation mark that appears over your head. Based on the speed on which you actually try to evade that attack, That is going to determine if your opponent is going to be in animation or not. If you actually manage to evade the attack, I'm speaking slowly because I really want you guys to understand this part. If you actually are able to evade the attack as soon as that exclamation mark appears, then you are going to be able to hit your opponent with the next attack. But you have to be really fast about it. If you don't, if you waste half a second, then your opponent is going to be able to also use his Vanishing Gouge. This is, let's call it a very subtle thing, and if you're not able to do it, or if you see that for some reason you are not sure exactly what the outcome is, then my recommendation is to just dodge the attack however you can, and then press once on your screen for a tap attack. Don't go like that, just go once for some punches. If your opponent is going to evade, he will evade, but then you will also have the chance to attack. If you are going to hit him, then continue until you punch him in the back. With practice, you will see exactly what happens, and you will be able to be sure if your next attack is going to hit your target or not. And the last one is, of course, the baiting. And bait, basically, it refers to this one. You can actually just simply throw a blast in order to force your opponent to use his Vanishing Gouge, or just to lie in the back like people are doing with Angry Goku, for example, and just wait there lie like an opossum, and whenever they launch an attack you use your blue card or stuff like that. Bait. This is a concept that by its name it's easily to understand. You do an action that is not an attack, and you are just forcing your opponent to do something, and you are going to be able to react because you are expecting that movement from him. Okay guys, so I think this pretty much covers the basics. Now let's see everything I talked about in action. Let's go to match number 1. Whenever I want to actually prove a point, I like to use my extreme Ginyu Force. Now, in this video, I'm going to only use the 3 characters that you see there. That's Captain Ginyu, that's Berter, and that's Raccoon, because I totally love these guys. This team, besides the fact that it is an extreme team, has no weakness. Because these guys are from the Ginyu Force, and because they are extreme, they don't have real enemies. What I'm talking about here? Very simple. For example, if you're using any sort of Saiyan team, like the Fusion, like Saiyans, like Super Saiyans, like whatever, they are always going to have a big disadvantage against Lineage of Evil or Frieza Force. Also, Goku Black hates the Saiyans and the hybrids and has additional damage against them. So that's why it is very difficult to play with the Saiyans. From time to time, of course, that they are right there and they are in the meta, but after that, I don't know, a new character has appeared, he has overwhelming odds against Saiyans, and boom, just like that, they are gone. In the current state of the game, because Kefla and Gotenks have been introduced, well, to be honest, right now they are pretty damn awesome. That Kefla is amazing, and Gotenks after he transforms, oh my god. For some reason I can see that this match is laggy. I'm not sure why, but it's not going to matter. Now let's talk a little bit about the principles that I presented at the beginning of the match. My team has 2700 ability bonus. That means that it has pretty good attack and defense. Now, I was telling you about unique abilities. Just look at all my active buffs. If you look there, my god, I have everything on these guys. I have damage, I have resistance, I have everything. And although this team is extremely old, extremely old, because they have such a good synergy, you can still do a lot of stuff with these guys. They are awesome. Kefla has color advantage. That's why with Raccoon, it really is recommended that I take him out. Raccoon is my main tank, but against Kefla, no chance. Right now, I have used my rush. It is 3-2, and what a duel! And this guy has no chance. We were talking about cover switching. I was expecting there for him to switch to Super Vegito, and that's why I was going for my blasts. He didn't switch. Even if he would have, it would have been the same thing, because he did not stand a chance. Super Vegito in this match did not have the necessary resistance, and Kefla has high damage but low defenses. Now let's move to somebody a little bit stronger. Now this guy has Gotenks, and he has also a pretty amazing fusion team. Now it is true, Raccoon has color advantage over the red color, that means Gotenks, but if Gotenks is able to hit anybody else, oh my god, it's going to hurt. And even Raccoon, when he is transformed, then pretty hard to stop. So this is going to be a pretty difficult match. Oh my god, this guy has not brought Gotenks, he has brought the yellow one. What is up with that? This is a good learning opportunity. Now guys, if you don't know how to use your fighters, then the question is, how did this guy manage to get into gather that much RP? Because come on, because he has left Gotenks at home, he has no chance. Simple as that, no chance. I have color advantage against two of his fighters, and yeah, of course, there's also a little bit of lag, but overall, just look, his Super Vegito, right now he does not have his buffs, he's just gathering them because now he's receiving cards, but it doesn't matter because I am the one that is hitting him. And he has done a little bit of damage, I have done a lot of damage. And these Gotenks, look at the cover switch. Now, as you can see, I have 3 sustained damage cuts. That means that by the end of this combo, my Raccoon has really impressive defenses, and that's why I really love to use him. Also, my main ability is healing. Right now, with the green card, I am reducing his healing, his self-healing, in case he would have had some. So overall, so many buffs and debuffs only from one character. And as you can see, as I am switching in and out my fighters, all of them have really amazing buffs. And this is happening because of the team synergy. Now, if I would have brought, for example, Golden Frieza, which from stats point of view is stronger than any of these guys, then Golden Frieza would have sucked, because there was nothing I could actually do with him. And right now, just look how much damage I am doing to Kefla. And did I get him? Nah, he dodged. He dodged, but also, ooh, raising rush. I'm actually going to let him hit me, because Kefla is almost done. So the next combo I hit, even with the Raccoon, I think he... Oh, never mind. Never mind. That was so easy. And right now, considering that I have a Borter, Super Vegito will not pose a threat. That's why I'm just going with Rush against Gotenks, because let's be serious, if Gotenks... Oh, okay. I assume that this is, let's call it equality. He has missed with his Rush, I am missing with my Rush, but it really doesn't matter, because overall my team is simply better. So even if this guy is with skill, it doesn't matter, because he does not have the team necessary to beat me. Yeah, I know, kind of mean, but that's the truth. And did you saw? So because I saw he has activated his main ability, I was actually able to properly dodge that one, and I actually was able to hit him with a blue card. And that's pretty amazing, because the blue cards have the lowest cast time. So that's what I was talking about when I was saying that if you manage to actually dodge exactly when that mark appears over your head, then you are going to be able to hit your opponent. He's not going to be able to dodge. And just like that, this match is done. And it's 3-0. That means that all of my fighters are alive, his are not. And boom, 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 boom. You saw the charge step, you saw that I got a gi for the last card. Let's move to the third fight. How much RP is this? Drum rolls. Only 200. Oh, I'll take it. Now, I'm very happy that I actually found an opponent like this guy, because this guy is using 3 fighters that have 2 stars. This is very important, so hear me out. There is no way in hell that this guy could have gathered that much RP with this team. Simply impossible. That means that he is most probably a cheater. Or, let's not be so mean, he maybe have used a different team, but that really doesn't explain why he's fighting with this. Also, as usual, we have lag, but in this case, I really think that the lag is due to the fact that this guy is a cheater and he's using some sort of buff. If I am wrong, my friend, I'm really sorry for the accusation, but he has nothing right here. He has the team members for a proper team, but he does not have the ability bonus for a proper team. So that's why, just look. I mean, I hit him with what? 2 cards, and just like that, tons and tons of damage. And because I wanted to be sure that Gohan is not going to surprise me with anything, I also brought Jace, because I wanted color advantage. But besides from that, when you see somebody that has a crappy team that is doing tons of damage, don't think that it's your fault. Most probably that guy is a cheater. He is using some sort of modulated game that is giving him additional damage. It has happened to me a million times that I was going against, I don't know, a GT squad, for example, that had 5-6 stars and they were decent, and then I was fighting a guy just like this one that had 2 stars and he was killing my characters with 1 combo. In case that happens, oh well, wait for it. Now let's see if I can actually survive. Ha! You are worthless! And just like that, total buried. Because most likely he would have killed the Raccoon. That should have not happened, because Raccoon, if he gets hit without color advantage, he should be able to take Raising Rush at full health from a 2-star character. Just like that. But as I was saying, in my opinion, this guy... Of course, he's using such a crappy team that I am actually beating him, but if you guys encounter guys like this, don't get upset. Actually, I don't know, I'm not going to make any suggestions. You consider how you are going to take action, but overall, yeah, this is one of the parts that I don't like about the game, but I'm happy that I had the opportunity to actually talk about it. And just like that, my friend, you are nothing, nothing. I have my 3 characters, you have only 1, and Vegeta at 2 stars, I don't care what you're using, you will not have absolutely any defenses, because that's the problem with transforming Vegeta, he does not have defenses. I'm trying to bait him. He did not even. He thought I was going for another bait attack. Boom! Just like that. Perfect, perfect. And I Kefla. Thank you for the RP, what can I say? Now guys, in case anybody is still watching this video, I gotta tell you that no, this is not the team that I am currently using for PvP. The team that I am using is the sagas from the movies. I am using the new Broly, I am using Bojack and transforming Gohan. That's why I knew exactly what my opponent team was all about. Absolutely no way he could have surprised me. I'm really happy with the team. For me, it has been awesome. Also, I have the fusion, which in case I get bored with the sagas from the movies, I'm using the fusion. I don't have a Gotenks, I only have Kefla, but overall I'm doing okay with them. And lastly, I have the Lineage of Evil with the Zenkai Cooler. With these three teams plus the Ginyu Force, that's four teams that I'm currently using in PvP, and I gotta tell you guys that I'm very happy with them. I am basically using exactly what I talked to you guys about, how to make the team, all of the game mechanics, and I'm just trying to get the win. The last advice that I want to give you, in case you see somebody in ranked PvP that has the name no RR equals GG or something like that, just ignore him. You only go for no raising rush when you're playing with friends or when you're playing a streamer or something like that, and you actually talk about that before anything. In ranked PvP, normal ranked PvP, go all in. You have to take the win, because if you lose, you are going to lose a lot of RP, maybe not in this season, but in a regular season, and it is possible that because of that one loss, you are going to need 3-4 wins in order to recover. Not cool. So that's why do not trust anybody. That was the message. In case you guys are still here, thank you for holding on. If you have any questions, you know the drill. Drop them in the comment section. And until next time, this is ArchArchon. Thank you guys.